Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Amber Unfiltered. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about Nick Cannon, but before I do that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you want to cash at me at AmberUnfilteredShow, that'd be greatly appreciated. So, I read this article on, what's today? The 4th or the 5th? So the 2nd or the 3rd. I don't fucking know. I don't even know what day it is. All the days are just blending together for me. I was going to say gel, but then my mind immediately went to blend. That's why I blah, blah, right there. But yeah, I'm like locked in with school, but I was like, okay, I have a little bit of time. I can probably churn out a couple of videos today and just kind of stacker them out and premiere them. So I saw this article and I was like, bitch, I gotta talk about this. Okay, I have a very unpopular opinion about Nick Cannon. I do not like him. Or I do not like what I have seen of him, I should say, because I don't know him. He just comes across very corny, very cringe. I think it's very problematic that he's creating all these kids left and right. I'm wondering what he's promising these women or why they would even agree to this. I'm just very concerned. I was concerned about him when this first started happening. To tell you the truth, I feel like ever since him and Mariah Carey broke up, I think he has not recovered from that. That is my honest opinion. Again, I'm not licensed. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. Just how much he talks about her and how he cannot let it go, but then he keeps doing the things that he's doing in his spare time is very alarming. And I'm wondering, I know he had mentioned that there were some issues with ego and insecurity and jealousy and things like that because of how popular and mega famous and rich Mariah Carey was. But I'm wondering what happened in the marriage that caused them to split. I know that they got married really fast. I think within 6 months or a few months of meeting each other. I think they have a beautiful family. Their kids are gorgeous. Mariah seems to be living her best life. I think she aging backwards for real. I don't know. I've tried to support him and I don't really like what he stands for. I've watched his radio show. I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's kind of like radio show / podcast. Every time I turn around, he's doing a new project, so I can't keep up. I'm not really a huge fan of Wild 'N Out. I don't know. I remember liking him like early in the 2000s because I feel like he was a big part of my childhood. Like one of my favorite movies ever is Love Don't Cost a Thing. And I just have like really fond memories of watching that. And some other movies that he's done were really good from when I was a kid. But I don't know. I'm not surprised. He's saying that I guess that he needs help because he's been diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. I was going to say diagnosis, but I already said that. He's been diagnosed with this personality disorder. So I'm going to read you this article from Media Takeout, credit to them, and we'll talk about it. So Nick Cannon is speaking out following his admission that he was diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. God, I cannot say that. I'm over here stuttering. So he says, I still don't understand it all the way, but I kind of always wanted to get tested for it. I did a bunch of tests, he told People. Cannon says he was diagnosed with ADHD, and as a child, he was diagnosed with dyslexia, but that following his recent diagnosis, he is committed to learning more about NPD. And then there's this really cute picture of him and Mariah Carey and his mom. And I don't think he'll ever be that happy again. I'm sorry. And I'm not wishing that on him. I don't think he's ever going to find a Mariah again. And also, I think, who is it, Golden? Is that the one that he has with Brittany Bell? The grandbaby looks just like his grandma. As soon as I saw this picture, I was like, oh my God, that's her twin. This is a picture from 2008. They were going to a Halloween party. They just look so happy. The other day, I just randomly started looking up pictures of them, and that must be really tough to lose a woman that good and never be able to recreate that or duplicate that. And again, I'm not trying to bash the women that he's with. I just think that he's never going to find that again. And even if he is, he's not going to be able to receive it because I think he's so broken and he has not moved on from that. That's my honest opinion. I don't know. So he said, I feel like there's so many labels out there, but to be able to embrace it and say, look, I'm healing, I need help, show me. I just embrace mental health and therapy in such a strong way, he added. To be able to say I'm an example for others, but also be healing during the self-process works too. Cannon's family dynamic has put him in the headlines often over the past few years. Lord have mercy, praise Jesus. The media personality has 12 children and 6 baby mamas. He says he was compelled to procreate after he received 3 visions from God. Bitch, I'm about to throw my tablet. I can't, I just think, I'm not surprised by the diagnosis. Everything he does is very self. I don't think he's thinking of the kids. I think they're almost like objects or trophies, and I don't like that. And I'm not going to sit here and say he's not there for his kids, because from the looks of it, he is, but I don't know. I don't live with these women. I don't live with his children. I don't know him like that. I'm wondering if you can be a narcissist or have the traits of one and heal. I don't think I've ever seen someone be one, admit it, and then actually do the work, because I feel like it's like so rooted or ingrained in you that it would be really hard to get out of those habits. Like, how do you treat a narcissist? I am of the mindset that narcissism is a health epidemic. I think it's a plague. And I'm going to tell you why, because I feel like they're everywhere. I feel like that, like I'm so easily able to spot them. I can spot them like that because I've had experience, like I've said in other videos, and you know who I have that experience with. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but I feel like they can just take you down. They can ruin your life. They can change your whole fiber, your whole character. Like, they can really get their hooks in you and change you fundamentally, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. Like, dealing with them is very draining. It's like a job in itself. And I feel like a lot of people, I've told my husband this. I said, there's two reasons why I think narcissists come about. One is if they didn't get enough attention, care, love, affection, what have you, when they were growing up. So then everything became me, because they didn't get that support and that, what was I going to say? Yeah, that support that they needed. And then the other one is maybe overly. So you're being enabled. So you're getting all those things, but it's like heightened. It's like on steroids. It's like times 10. So I think there's those two dichotomies or two dynamics, but I don't know. I just think he's very problematic, some of the stuff that he says, and then how he says, oh, I don't believe in monogamy, I don't believe in commitment. And it's like, well, what do you believe in? Because children are commitments. I've actually learned this now. Like, I used to think that just marriage was like the end all be all commitment, or, you know, the ultimate forever, but kids are. I never thought about this until I started watching like other YouTubers, like Real Talk with Yanni, Jessie Boo, the Voodoo Child, like any Black content creators you can think of. They all talk about this, and I'm like, they're genuinely right. It is very true. Like, I'm like, did he think he was gonna die? Did he think, I'm wondering what led him to create all these kids, and wasn't his dick tired? Like, I don't know. Like, how do you have sex with one and then there's like so much overlap? And it's like, how are you going to explain that to your kids? How are you possibly in 12 places all at once? You can't be. And then to schedule with all these people, and then depending on the type of dynamic you have with the woman that you created this child with, I couldn't imagine dealing with somebody like that. And he's wealthy. He's wealthy and powerful at that. And that's scary, because I think people think, oh, well, he has the means to take care of them. Yeah, but what about emotionally? What about mentally? What about physically? Doesn't he, I believe he has lupus as well. So I'm like, health-wise, if he's in the shitter, all that money and shit ain't gonna matter. He could leave it to them and they'll be set. But if something happens to him, what about his kids? What about those kids' mothers? Like, I don't know. I am very curious to see if he will change, if his tune will change, if what he says will change. His interviews are very cringe to watch. Like, I think one time he interviewed, was it Saweetie? I forgot which artist it was. It was a female artist, and he was like low-key like flirting with her, trying to get that in, and I was like, nah, bro. He was like, well, give me love advice, do this, and it's like, but in every show he would say, I'm not a believer of monogamy. I'm not a believer of monogamy. What you believe, that's your choice, that's fine. Me personally, I do believe in it. I'm all in 100%. I think if it's the right person, they'll change your mind and you'll lock in, and you can find that happiness you're looking for. Take it from somebody. I think I thought I didn't want to get married, but I think low-key I knew I was going to get married. I think I was just so nervous because I had such terrible interactions with men, but because I was putting myself in bad situations, I can take the blame or accountability or responsibility because I put myself there. They didn't force my hand. I chose to participate in that. But it was a very unhealed version of myself that they were getting. So I can't sit up and blame them. I was just meeting them where they were, and vice versa. But it's like, you don't believe in monogamy, but you believe in spreading your seed like you're a farmer? Like, I don't know. I'm like, I wonder how he is as a parent. Like, what is his mental health like? Who is around him? Does he have yes people, or do they tell him the truth? Do they spit facts with him? And then the one, I think it's Bree TSC or whatever. I forget what reality show. She's like Selling Sunset or one of those. she looks ridiculous, first of all. And second of all, she's always like touting on social media like their baby and like them being together and making fun of the fact that she had a baby with someone who has a rotation of women or like a harem of fucking women. And it's like, that's cringe to me that you think this is cute. You're a part of this. You participated in this. This probably is sounding so harsh and I'm not meaning for it to be, but to me, I would not want to entertain someone with that many kids. I could not do it. More power to them if that's what they want to do. They probably have the means. You know, there's probably conversations being had behind closed doors, agreements being made. I have no idea. For me, that doesn't work. I always knew when I dated and when I locked in with someone, I was like, I have to date with someone with no kids. Like, I want to be your only and forever baby mama. Like, you know, I don't know, because I don't want to have to deal with that. I don't want to have to deal with trying to figure out if you still dipping and dabbing, like kind of like a G Herbo and Ari Fletcher. Like, I was like, no, I don't want no parts. I don't want to deal with that shit. I want you and me to have a kid and start our own family. I don't want to have to second guess that and be caught in the middle of some shit. So it just, I guess dealing with my own parents and like when they got separated and just like that dynamic completely turned me off to it. I dated one guy with a kid, ironically, and disaster. I found out later he wasn't taking care of the kid. He like owed back child support. After we broke up, he got fucking arrested. It was like a whole thing. And I was like, I so dodged the bullet. As soon as I got with him, everybody was like, bitch, I think they thought I was going to get pregnant and then like the history was going to repeat itself. But I was very, very careful when I was younger. Like, I waited a long time until I shared my body with someone. I'll just leave it at that. But I don't know. I don't know if he's capable of changing. What is Nick Cannon? You know what? I'm going to look up his age because now I'm curious. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to look on Wikipedia real quick. If my slow ass tablet will hurry up. I think he's in his 40s though, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. He is 44 years old. Okay. He looks good for 44 though. Oh, him and Mariah Carey were married for almost 10 years, 2008 to 2016. Oh, it was fresher than I thought. I thought, oh, bitch, he's a Libra too. Oh, God. 2008 to 2016. Why did I think they were only married for a couple of years? Where did I get that information from? Oh, so this is relatively fresh, like within the last 10 years. Okay. That kind of gives me some perspective. I think whatever must have happened between him and Mariah, it was probably unfixable or irreparable damages. And she probably was like, good riddance, I'm done. Or it could have been vice versa. Like, I don't know. Maybe it was both. I have no idea. I wasn't there. But I don't know. I feel like he's too old for this. And I'm wondering how he grew up. Because I think I've read that he like grew up like a pastor's kid or a church kid and was like grew up in money or was in money, like had a family that was wealthy. I'm not too sure how true that is, so don't quote me on that, but I think I've read articles about that. You know how they have articles like, here's who was already rich and then became richer. Like, I feel like his name popped up in that, but I'm not sure how true that is. But it's like, where did he get his morals from? Where did he get his values? Why is he like this? Is it because of the money? Is it because of the fame? Is it other sources? Did something happen to him that made him this way? I think that the divorce with Mariah was a key trigger for him. I think some men cannot let go, and I think it eats at them and they don't address it and it just festers. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm like beating a dead horse. I said I wasn't going to talk about him, but I guess I will. My dad, I sometimes used to wonder, like, he was so fixated and obsessed, like, and I participated in it too, but now looking at it as an adult, I realize it's wrong. Like, he would talk about my mom so much, like my birth mom. Like, after they divorced, he blamed her for everything. And sometimes I used to wonder, does he still like her? Does he still love her? Are they still dealing with each other like in that way? I have no idea. It's been years, but I used to wonder because I'm like, she was like the one that got away. She rounded him out, you know, when they weren't in their bad phase and, you know, the marriage wasn't crumbling. Like, I think she was the only one able, I don't want to say to tame him because he's not a fucking horse, but she was the only one that like had her, I'm trying not to bash other women when I say this. Like, she was financially literate. She thought about the future. I think she was like the infrastructure and the backbone of our family. I don't think I realized this until I got older. And she grounded him. So once she was out of the picture, once he was like, I'm about to go do my thing, F you, he was like a completely different person. And I think that's exactly what happened with Nick Cannon. That's why I'm able to spot the behavior. And I think he just snapped. Like, he could not fathom that he wasn't living the type of lifestyle that he was accustomed to, used to, my dad. And he always was trying to chase it and try to get it back, but it's like, it's too late. Like, the damage has been done. And he was doing a lot of irresponsible things once my mom was out of the picture. So I wonder if that's kind of the case with Nick Cannon. I don't know if I believe that I don't want to say this. I don't know if I believe he is able to be healed or cured. I don't even want to say cured, because he's not. I think narcissism is a sickness or an illness. But I don't know if there's any, like, what if he's a person who doesn't want to hear bad things about himself? And I think I read something else that he said that he's very cold, like he's emotionless. And I was like, how is this possible? And he always presents himself online as like this happy-go-lucky, like, I'm super dad. I'm like, everyone always speaks positively or says really nice things about him, like how much he's helped their career, but I'm like, so how are you a narcissist and you're doing all this stuff? Or are you doing this and getting them to speak on this to make yourself look good, like to fuel that image, to fuel that perception? I wonder if it's that. I have no idea. I don't know. This one, I think if he says more about it, I might do a follow-up video. I'm not too sure. I'll just keep an eye on it. But I wonder if I don't know how long he's been like this either. That's the other thing. But I've been kind of side-eyeing him for a long time, mostly because of the kids situation and just the women that participate. And every time I turn around, he was in a maternity shoot. And I was like, you're not embarrassed? And I was like, if I was him, I'd be like, can you keep this shit off the internet? Like, do it like Elon Musk. He got 20,000 kids, but you don't really hear about it. And sidebar, I read an article about his child's mother, Grimes, the musician. She's very fucking talented. I've seen her perform live. Amazing. I don't really listen to her music now, but I was very surprised when they got together because they couldn't seem more opposite. But I'm like, they could have had more in common than we know. But apparently Elon Musk was keeping his kids from her, keeping the passports. Like, she's been fighting to see them get custody. Like, it's a whole thing. And I was like, I hope they can come to some sort of agreement and she can continue to see her kids. But I was like, that's scary that someone can exercise their power and their wealth and their status over you like that. I was like, that's terrifying to me. And I wonder what Nick Cannon be telling these women when he gets with them. And I'm like, what makes them agree to this? Is it his money? Is it his status? Is it his power? Is it the eyeballs he's got on him? Nick Cannon isn't ugly, but he doesn't do it for me. Like, he's very plain looking. Like, if I saw him on the street, I'd be like, hey, but I wouldn't be like, damn, like, again, he's not ugly. I just think something is off with his spirit. I've always felt like it was off. And I feel like he tries too hard. I feel like he's a guy that wants to be cool, that wants to be in, that wants to be but I think charisma is natural. Either you have it or you don't. You can try and buy it and curate it all you want, but if you don't have it, it is what it is. But anyway, don't eat my ass up in the comments. I just really wanted to talk about this because I was like, baby, I haven't really seen too many people talk about this online. I'm curious what other people think. I'm sure people are eating him up on like social networks and things like that, probably like IG, Shade Room, stuff like that. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I hope that this didn't come across as like rude or trying to belittle him. These were my honest thoughts, and I'm like, why isn't anybody else saying anything about this? But anyway, I love you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.